Yeah. Okay. So I remembered what I wanted to say. The critical aspect of all of this is that there is the deprivation of an enumerated right in your Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms, and just the general concept of your property right and your personal property rights. So you have a property interest in what you own. You have a property interest in you. This is one, how we derived slavery was acceptable within the original system of the United States, was that there were property interests that could be freely exchanged in the person. And it's also how we derive our own interests in our self labor under the 13th Amendment that says there's a prohibition on slavery. You have a property interest in you and in the fruits of your labor. And so
Just
you have the
don't
right.
tell the IRS that when it comes to tax basis.
Right. But you have the ability to control your control and exploit your output based on your physical being. Okay, so when you deprive someone of their firearms, you not only take away their Second Amendment right, but you also infringe upon their personal property right to self-defense, self-realization, self-actualization, and self-exploitation, because you cannot fully exploit yourself if you are not able to defend yourself. And that is a right that cannot be taken away typically without some sort of actual process. The red flag laws take away that process. They presume that infringement is the proper answer, quote unquote, in the interest of public safety or particular safety of an individual. Now, sometimes you do need to intervene because someone is unsafe due to a crazy person. Yes, that happens. We see it all the time. However, the presumption that your property rights can be infringed as the means to do so with confiscation and seizure is not something we see anywhere else. The only seizures that we allow preemptively are seizures of the person. Seizures of the person, and typically those involve the person's safety. Again, a Baker Act is protecting the safety of the person being Baker acted, being taken in for a mental evaluation. They have become a danger to themselves. Sure, danger to others are included in that as well, but we're talking about a temporary confiscation or seizure of the person, not of their possessions that they will then have to go. Because once that seizure ends, the person is fully free and liberated again. And a Baker Act is limited to 72 hours at the maximum without some further process being involved. In the same way, being arrested, you are limited in how long you can hold someone without establishing sufficient probable cause based on oath or affirmation. This is Fourth Amendment stuff in the seizure of the person. And all of this is controlled. The red flag law throws all of this out to just say, nope, we can infringe on property rights without compensation, without limitation, and without due process. And then you have to enact the process to get it back. This is one of the grossest infringements on rights that you will see, but it's allowed because of the stigma around a firearm. We're like, well, this person might be dangerous, might shoot someone. Might is not a part of criminal law in the United States. It never has been, and it never can be, because I might think a lot of you are fucking criminals, and all of you could go to prison if I were a prosecutor, and might was the standard.